Welcome back, Tin Whistlers. We are going to get into a lot more advanced material with the Melody Ear Training web app. So, first thing I want to do is let's set it back up for some tin whistle. I got my D, I got my 6, and we've been working with 3 note combinations, but you can add more notes, obviously. So you should try that. You should try the D, the F sharp, and the A, and then maybe add the E. Again, you can use your scaffolding if you need it. Um, after you add the after you add the E, I would add the B next. And you notice that there's always at least one box between the notes. The more boxes between the notes, oftentimes the easier it is because the notes are further apart. So once you can do all this fluidly, um, then I would add the C sharp. So you'd want to have the D, the E, the F sharp, the A, the B, and the C sharp. Okay, so that would be one way to add a lot more notes. The next thing we can do is we can actually work on distinguishing notes that are right next to each other. So again, I would use the D, the F sharp, and the G to start this. So that's another workout, and this will really help fine tune your ear. So that's how I would approach adding more notes. The second idea would be to spread the dictation across 2 octaves. Now, here's the setup for that. We can take 3 notes like the D, the F sharp, and the A at first, and we want to have the octave at 6. But here we have an octave range. So we would put that at 2. Now, this is going to choose between, every time the app chooses one of these notes, it will choose between octave 6 or the next highest octave, octave 7, which is your low octave on your tin whistle or your higher octave on the tin whistle. This is something you definitely want to try. Now, we did octave jumps, which was actually preparing us in certain respect for this kind of work. And we've done dictations that have crossed over into 2 octaves. So this is just kind of a subtle support for that other ear training work that we've done. And you'll want to do that. And again, you can add more notes, or you can use other note combinations like the E, G, and B. And I would do a lot of that kind of work as well. Next, longer phrases. How do you get a longer phrase? Well, that's up here. So you see the number of bars is preset to 1. The bar just means, let me talk about the time signatures really briefly here. You can play Irish music almost your whole life and not know how to explain the time signatures. That's fine. But to use the app the fullest, it does help to know a little bit about time signatures. So this is going to play 1 bar of 4/4 time. Okay, so 4/4 time just means I'm going to have 4 quarter notes in each bar. So if I move this to 2, I'm going to hear 2 bars of music. So I'm going to hear double the length of my dictation. If I have a quarter note here, I'm going to hear 8 possible notes instead of 4. This is something you should definitely do. And when you're doing this, will help your musical memory a lot. And when you're starting out, remember, less variables are easier to do. So you want to just, if you're just starting out with longer phrases, just do 2 notes and then add a third note. Or if you want to, start out with 3 notes, use a little bit of scaffolding if you need it. By this point, if you're at this point of the course, you should already have a good idea about what you need as far as your learning journey is concerned. So those are longer phrases, and you can do phrases that are quite long. Okay, and lastly, the other area that you may want to work on is there are a lot of, you may want to change your time signature to, for example, 6/8 time. This is what a lot of jigs are in. Jigs are in 6/8 time, or waltzes in 3/4 time. Okay, so that's also very helpful to do, and that will round out not just your ear training, but also your timing skills. And while you go into these other, like when you go into 6/8 time, you may want to experiment with some of these other durations and see what effect that has. Okay, I'll leave that up to you for some experimentation. So that's a little bit about how you go a lot further into ear training and into skill building with the Melody Ear Training app. Do all that, put it into your workout, and when you're ready for the last step of the course, come on back and we'll see you then.